Sometime they will be greater than us and they can take our place. Let me tell you something that is being persecuted. You who are being humiliated, you who are being trampled, there is a promise of God about your life. Maybe this is the time you need to spend. Maybe this is the moment you need to live. For there in front you give value to everything that God made you, to everything that God gave you. But I mean, it's not because you're in this moment. It's not because you're in a place that's not yours. You live in a house that's not yours. You work in a place that you don't want. You do what you didn't want to do. It's not because you're living this today. It's not that God doesn't have a glorious future. God does. But it's necessary for you to go through this moment. For there in front you understand what God did and will do in your life. People were suffering, people were being persecuted, and then God and the promise that the Lord made to Abraham, God sees the suffering of the people. After many years, he chooses a man and raises this man as the liberator of the people. It's Moses. And everyone here knows the story. I will not focus on the story, which is a story that everyone knows. Moses is grazing sheep for his father-in-law. Then God speaks to him through a burning torch, chooses Moses to free the people from the clutches of Pharaoh. Moses flees from Egypt, goes to a distant land, starts a new life. God is saying, now it's time for you to come back. Correct what you did. From there, you start a new story. From there, something new happens in your life. There are times when we need to start over. There are times when we need to turn around 90 degrees. It seems that I'm going backwards. You're not going backwards. You are correcting what happened so that you have a glorious future in the presence of God. So don't be ashamed to start over. Don't be ashamed to start over. Don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to come back. It's better to start with God than to continue without Him. Because when you start with God, when you start again with God, you know that your future is guaranteed, that your future is a promise, that your future is a blessing. Moses returns to Egypt, and then we know the story. He gathers the people. He speaks to Pharaoh several times until the people